Shalom.
They remove that shit. Remove that.
All right. Shalom, Ahab, Wa, Baraka. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Bahakadosh. And we want to give double honor to the elders, the apostles, the prophets, and the teachers at Cheetah Max that have been bringing out this 100% truth for the last 30 plus years, not wavering to the left or to the right. And in these last days, you understand a little more if you're studying what that wavering's all about. Today, we're just gonna bring out some notes I had. So let's do that. Somebody give me John chapter 4 and 22. We're gonna read the Bible. A lot of people come walking around us screaming at the top of their lungs like there's some kind of scholar. But the thing is, they don't read the Bible. If they did, they would shut up. I had to read one verse. What did he do? He tapered. Couldn't even finish the verse because he knew immediately what he was reading was actually, how would you say, it was proving what I was telling him. They had to walk away instantly. Well, I'm going to leave after this. I bet you are going to leave. I bet you are.
It undermines that narrative of Christianity, that doctrine. You know? It undermines everything that they believe. They teach that doctrine of universalism.
Absolutely. Anybody got John?
John chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship ye know not. What? We know what we worship, for salvation of the Jews.
Did you see that? That's the spirit right there. I'm bringing out notes, and that's going to line up exactly with what these dudes were doing this morning. They came in talking good. And loud, but they don't know who they worship. You know who Cesare Borgia is. You can go on Netflix and see his whole life. Yes, he was a sexual deviant. Yes, he did kill his brother for what? To be with his sister. So that means they were both on his system. And I'm pretty sure his dad was getting a piece of the action too. That's who Jesus is. Let me remind you one more time where the word Jesus comes from. This is what the good ship Jesus looked like. The good ship Jesus. John Hopkins. He was working on the good ship Jesus. That's where you get your name Jesus. Right there. That's Jesus. Good ship Jesus. That's where it comes from. His name is Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai. It's not Jesus. That word means little Zeus or hell Zeus. These people are crazy. And if they think that they're going to stop the real truth from coming out, they don't even know what's in their own Bibles. But we know who we worship. They don't know who they worship. You know why? Because they were told by their master who to worship. And when they were given the book back, all they could see was what their master told them. So that shows us right now, you're not in the fold. You're not part of the fold. He won't even let you see the truth for what it really is when it's right in your face. Let's jump around a little bit. Let's stay in the book of John.
Jeremiah, sort of laying back on what the brother was just saying. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel. Right? So the salvation is hoped for from the hills. You know, the lowly of these heathen nations.
Not the mountains.
The mountains would be the government. Right.
So, read that again.
Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly, go ahead, bro.
I'll just say vain. When it says truly in vanity, it means worthlessness. You're hoping in worthlessness for this. Keep going.
Your hope is futile.
Thank you.
Okay? It's absolutely futile. Why are you wishing for something that's not possible for you? Right? It's like wishing that you could ascend to outer space. I mean, you can wish all you want. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, right?
It doesn't make you righteous to want to save your oppressor. And that's what the problem with all you Stockholm Syndrome motherfuckers are. You guys literally want to save the person that's oppressing you. I want to help this guy. Why? He's not going to change. Just like the Christians aren't going to change. They're not going to change just because you tell him the Bible. I told this guy, I made him read it for himself. He couldn't even finish reading it because he knew it was the truth. It's crazy the way these guys are.
The biggest part of this, I mean, the biggest mind fucking, if you will, about this is that they want to save their oppressors. Okay? Salvation is for the Israelites, but they want to save the people who've done nothing but shown them hatred. Okay? Ever since we stepped foot in this wicked ass kingdom, they've been beating our asses for 400 years of slavery, and then even afterwards, okay, with the implementation of the Jim Crow laws, right?
It's literally showing you that the yoke of iron has been broken off our neck after our minds were destroyed. Because we're still in slavery, but now they let the chains off of us, but we still are now mentally in a Stockholm Syndrome type of way, following their instructions.
Right.
We're not rebelling
mental
against
slaves. We're mental slaves. There's mental shackles on their minds. You know what I mean? And there's only going to be broken if the Heavenly Father chooses you. Okay? And otherwise, you are going to be a slave to their philosophies, to their doctrines, like the rest of these Christians. I mean, it's ridiculous. You want to save the very people who are still oppressed. It's not like with the end of the Jim Crow laws. It's not like all the oppression and the hatred and the maltreatment stopped. It continued, right?
Yeah, you have to pull away. There's a point where there's certain things that you love in life that you know are wrong that you have to stop doing. And one of them is worshiping a false god. That you can't do that. You can't decide, well, in all of my righteousness, God is all love, so everybody can be saved. Not according to the Bible, not according to any Bible, not even your fucked up Bibles that have scriptures removed. They're trying to soften up the fact that only Israel can be saved. In fact, you know what, John, this. I'm going to move around a little bit. So we're going to stay in John. We're going to chapter 8, and I think it's verse 12. Then spake Yahushua again to them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. These guys are walking around the streets calling, Jesus, Jesus. Where's the light? You're walking in darkness. I tell you, I had to tell them, you got an NLT Bible? Get Matthew 18 and 11 and all your righteousness. You know what they do? They walk in darkness. Oh no, I could never do that. I could never open this book. Why not? Because you'll find out that you're truly walking in darkness. To be in the light of life means to come back to the truth. Do you see us teaching the Bible, reading the scriptures, letting you understand what the words mean? We're not walking around the fucking streets screaming out Jesus. Oh, he said a curse word. Somebody get me 2 Corinthians 6 and 11.
Wicked, he said a curse word.
Let's see if I'm wicked. I think it's 6 and 11 and 6. It might be 1 Corinthians. I'm going to check. No, 2 Corinthians 11 and 6. If I have rude speech, let's see what the Bible says. I'll get it. 2 Corinthians 11 and 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. Let me read it again. There's a glare on it, sorry. So, but though I be rude in speech, because I'm not holding back, guys. I am kind of rude when it comes to talking, but yet not in knowledge. I know what I'm talking about. I study this every single day, all day, every day. I don't just come out once a week to scream out the words Jesus and then plan on being saved. That is a non-works. That is not works of Yahweh Shai. So, not knowledge. I know what I'm talking about. Just like we know who we worship, you know not who you worship. I know the knowledge is correct, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. So you guys are the ones that have a problem, not me. You just can't handle it. You're too soft. You're, what is it called? Justified in your own lifestyle, and what I say doesn't fit it. So you search for little things to nitpick at, to gaslight the truth. Going back over to Galatians chapter 4.
And to add to what you were saying, see, the problem is also is that, like I always say, it's envy, it's jealousy, because they see us out here breaking down scriptures, just calling verse after verse after verse after verse off the top of our head, okay, which is proof that we have the understanding of this Bible, right? We are well versed in these scriptures here. So they don't want to come up against us, most of them. That's why that clown never wants to open up his Bible. He carries it around, as an act of righteousness, okay? Look at me. I got my Bible. Let's open it up. Let's go to Matthew chapter 18, verse 10. Well, I can't do that.
Yeah, okay? Matthew 18, 11.
He doesn't open his book. He doesn't open up and read these scriptures. None of that. Every week, week in and week out. Because he has no understanding. Okay? He is spiritually dead. He's dead from the neck up. All right? Which means you don't have the understanding of these scriptures. Okay? The only thing they can do is run around screaming Jesus. And to them, that's a righteous work. That's a righteous work to them.
But they were today, when they showed up, it was all nations can be saved. Like they just got off of YouTube. I was watching some of your YouTube videos. All nations can be saved. That's what I feel like. I'm laughing at you. I'll be honest. I tried to sincerely explain that because we're mingled among the other nations, by default, we're going to look like the other nations. So this is where Christians are always getting messed up. It's not going to be a bunch of Wesley Snipe looking ass niggas walking up into the kingdom. I'm sorry. He's not that dark. I'm not that dark. He's dark. He's not that dark. So it doesn't make sense to have that mindset when I'm telling you I'm probably going to go home one day, most high willing, yet I don't look like Wesley Snipes. So that right there should be an indicator. Well, they can't be all the same. No. We're going to look like the other nations that we've been mingled amongst. But we're still going to carry an Israelite bloodline. Wow!
This is not a hard concept to understand.
No, God only wants black people.
It wasn't given to them.
And no, everybody's not going to be saved, starting from the whole, before the Israelites. Starting from before the Israelites, everybody wasn't going to be saved. Give me Galatians chapter 4, starting at verse 22.
Galatians chapter 4,
starting at verse 22.
Verse 22 reads, "For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid and the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise."
So there was, wait a second, there's one that's born after the flesh and one that's born by the promise. So there's already a separation. We're not even to Israel yet. We haven't got to Israel yet. This is years before Israel. Let's keep going.
Verse 24, "Which things are in allegory, for these are the two covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Agar."
Which gendereth to, what is bondage, people? Slavery. Keep reading.
"For this, Agar is Mount Sinai and Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children."
Wait a second. So you're going to be answering, you Arabians is telling you. So for you Muslims, just letting you know, you ain't got shit going on either. And This is a direct cut to all you Muslims, actually. It's saying that your mom was a bondwoman. She was a slave. And your progenitor, who is Ishmael, Ishmael was born of the flesh. In other words, worldly. That's the flesh. And Isaac is born of the promise. So there's something special in hand for Isaac. And Ishmael was born before Isaac. And we all know the inheritance goes to the oldest. But wait, he is not of a free woman. So, no, that doesn't pertain to them. The free woman is the first wife. And the son from the first wife is first. But anyway, she wasn't, so Agar wasn't the first wife. She was sent to Abraham because Sarah couldn't have kids. So she sent Agar to Abraham to have a kid in her name. That's simple. But then when she got pregnant, she's like, get that nigga out of here. Yeah. So anyway. Going back to it, Galatians 4:25. Let me read it again. For this, Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem. So if you're answering to somebody, that means they have authority over you. I hope you guys can understand it. Not everybody's getting the kingdom. And if you do, I'm going to tell you just like I told those Christians, the children of Israel are going to receive salvation. The other nations, most high willing, some of them will be spared for captivity. Spared, not salvation. There's a difference. You'll be alive, but you ain't got the what we're getting. See, there's a difference. There's a separation. You're going to be told what to do. We're going to be telling you what to do.
Being saved for salvation is not salvation. Or saved for slavery is not salvation.
That's called being spared.
Yeah, spared. Spared. You were spared to serve a purpose.
Thank you.
Okay, a purpose to build the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, he did it down full stride. It's just a spare.
I'm going to stay here. I got a precept. We're going to stay here in Galatians chapter 4. Okay? Verse 4, just up top here. But when the fullness of the time was come, Yahweh sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law. This is the point. To redeem them that were under the law.
You know what's really cool about that? Made of a woman. So wait a second, I thought it was Immaculate Conception. It's telling you, Yahweh Shai, who everybody so ignorantly calls Jesus, has come down in the same manner as all men. No special powers. Because if he came with special powers, he wouldn't be like us. It's that simple. But most people can't even get that. I mean, honestly, I can feel them trying to debate that even.
To redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. Let's stop right there. Because the whole basis of Christianity is predicated on being grafted in or adopted as heathens. Well, we're heathens. We can be adopted in or grafted into the fold. Well, no, you can't. Because this adoption of sons is exclusively talking about the Israelites. In fact, if you go to the Greek, adoption of sons in Greek, it says, Wiathasia is the word for adoption. Okay? It's a Greek word, and if I can remember the definition off the top of my head, it's that relationship that Yahweh established between himself and the Israelites, right, in preference to all other nations. That's literally what adoption means in Greek.
Let me give you...
Wiathasia.
Watch this. Because you want to be grafted in, you mean back in? Because that's what it's talking about. Let's prove it. Romans 11:23. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. For Yahweh is able to graft them in again, to be put back in the fold.
Right.
Now, I was never there on being grafted in. That's bullshit.
If you've never been to Texas before, you wouldn't say, I'm going back to Texas, right?
I'm going to be grafted into Texas.
I'm going back to Texas, though I've never been. No, you would have to say, I'm going to Texas, okay? Now, if someone moved from Texas and said they were going back, they would say, hey, I'm going to return to Texas, or I'm going back to Texas again. You follow me? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they play these semantics, this word play, okay, when things mean one thing and it's straightforward. No, it doesn't mean that in Christianity. That's in the mind of a Christian.
Let's jump around some more. I'm
just going to finish this. Verse 6. Let me reread 5. To redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. Right? Verse 6. And because ye are sons, Yahweh hath sent forth the Spirit of his Son into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father. So we got the Spirit of Yahushua in our hearts. This is why we have the knowledge and the understanding of these holy scriptures. This is why we're able to do what we do week in and week out. This is why we're able to break down these scriptures, do epistles on YouTube, right? Read the scriptures and actually have an understanding, a comprehensive understanding of the holy scriptures when we read the Bible.
This is why you don't see us just walking up and down the street screaming out, Jesus! Because we actually study the book. We know what it says. So we don't have to sit there looking like dummies. In fact, let's go back, let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 9, starting at verse 3. In fact, I'm glad you brought out adoption, because now we're going to stay on that for a minute. I didn't even realize that was, that's the church. That's really good.
Romans chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
Keep going.
Who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption?
Wait, we're not too fast now. Who are Israelites? Who pertaineth to the adoption? Okay, keep reading.
And the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Yahweh and the promises.
One more.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahushua came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Come.
Forever, amen. So look, it says, concerning the flesh. So wait a second. So wait, let's go to that kind of slow. I wish myself were accursed from Yahushua for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. His brother, his kinsman, what flesh are they talking about? Who are Israelites? You guys are, now, and it goes into the adoption. We just told you can't graft yourself back in. To be grafted in is the same thing as being adopted. The adoption pertains only to Israelites. Being grafted back in only pertains to Israelites. The covenants only pertain to Israelites. When Moses was on Mount Sinai and he sprinkled the blood over the people for the laws, it was only Israelites.
Well, no, we're under the new covenant. We're under the new covenant. I'm a Christian and I know what I'm talking about.
Wait until all these people find out that it doesn't go by how you look in the mirror. It goes by your ancient ancestors. So anybody can be an Israelite according to the bloodline, not according to your vain imagination. You can't just, how do they say it? I'm a spiritual Israelite. That's not true. That can't be made true.
You got to be by the blood.
And I read on Romans 9, verse 5, which kind of gives you a little bit more clear explanation.
Time.
Theirs are the patriots, and from them is traced the human ancestry of the Messiah, who is God over all, forever praise. Amen.
Time. I mean, I can't break it down better than that.
Yeah, you can't break it down better than that.
Now I think
Since
that
they want to go to Ancestry.com, here it goes right here.
Damn, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. That's pretty black and white.
Yep.
Now, I was mentioning about the covenants. I was being sarcastic as a Christian. They always are quick to say that the second covenant, well, we're under the new covenant. Okay? Well, the new covenant won't start until Yahushua comes and starts it. Right? We're still in this flesh. So there's no way in the world that we're under the new covenant right now. We're under grace. Okay? We're under this grace period where we're to get our spiritual house in order in preparation for the beginning or the implementation of the new covenant. Okay? Because when our Lord comes back and he implements it, we're not going to be in these fleshly bodies anymore. Okay? These aching bodies, these aching backs, and old decrepit bones, and
Aching feet.
filthy flesh. Yeah, man. I mean, we're going to have new bodies. We're going to be like him, like the scripture says. We're going to be like Yahushua. So that's when we're going to be under the new covenant. The law, statutes, and commandments are going to be put in our inward parts. We won't be able to sin. We won't be able to go off. All right? This is why you got to repent every damn day. Why? Because you're in this flesh. We're still under grace, man.
Let's jump around some more. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 11. Sirach is also known as Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha. Sirach, chapter 11, I think the point is in 7?
6 and 7.
Oh, Sirach 11 and 7.
Starting at page 6.
You know what? Yeah, go ahead. Start at 5.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11 verse 5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of has worn the crown.
I wonder who that could be. Everybody, that's the spirit. Who could that be?
Who might that be?
God, many mighty men have been greatly disgraced, and the honorable delivered into other man's hands. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke.
I wish that Christian was here for that. Yeah, the verse 7 is really where the point is. See, this is the problem with the teaching of the word. Everybody thinks that they're right in their own mind, but nobody's willing to listen and then actually construct an answer. Then you got to listen, comprehend what he said, and then you come with an answer. That's called everything being done calm and orderly, right? I mean, we're doing everything in decency. But here you are, and I love that. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. We're over here in the truth, boy. That's why you guys get so mad. Everybody's so emotional. Emotional. I'm laughing at you because I know you don't got the truth. What's 1 plus 1? It's 3. I know you ain't got the truth. I'm laughing at you.
I use that analogy a lot.
But it's the truth, though. You don't got
They're
it.
adding the plus with the 1.
I don't know where you get it from. Oh, I was talking about when men and women get together. See, a man and woman, that's 1 and 1, and then I'll come. But
That's 3.
that's semantics.
That's 3.
That's not math. That's just semantics. You're just playing games with the truth. It's beautiful. So when we're dealing, or when you're dealing with us, you guys should probably shut the fuck up and examine what we're saying. Because we're only here sincerely and righteously. All we want to do is tell you what the Bible says. That's it. I mean, if you choose to follow, if you hear, let them hear. But if they forbear, let them forbear. So if they receive it, if they hear it, that means they received it. If they reject it, that means they forbeared it. Okay, but let's do it calm and decent. Don't come over here yelling at us, telling us, Satan, get under my feet. We're reading the Bible, and you don't even have the correct format of the Bible, but you got one. I mean, that's a good start. but that's not enough. It's just not enough. So, and for us too, I mean, it's a cut to us too, because we also sometimes go off before we hear the full matter. And so, and it's a cut to everybody. We all need to humble ourselves a little bit and listen first, examine, and then reply. So it's not just to these Christians walking around. I got to shut my own mouth. So, and I can't say anything. I can't say really much more about it. But let's move around some more. Habakkuk. I got cut on my own scripture. That's a good feeling. You know why? Because it means that the truth still dwells in me. I have a conscience.
And you're still listening.
We learn it. If you stop learning, you stop living. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. And we're going to start 18. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 18.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18. What profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof has graven it? The molten image and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein to make dumb idols.
Isn't that beautiful? What profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof hath graven it? So, what profiteth this graven image? What is it? What profiteth it? What is it doing to make your life better? How's that? The molten image and a teacher of lies. So what is it? It's made by man's hands, and when you bow down to worship this graven image that was made up by a man, it's a teacher of lies. Why is it a lie? Because it's a false god. What does our Levitical law tell us? Thou shalt not bow down to graven images. So what do? Well, the laws are done away with. Hold on, let me get it. That's the first thing you do. So, like I said, it's teacher of lies. It's a lie that the marker of his word trusteth therein to make dumb idols. You guys actually, and you do. I remember when I was in Christianity, I still have a cross right here. I have to answer to this. I wish I never had tattoos, especially this one, because this is a dumb graven image, and I have to wear it as a stamp for the rest of my life. So I know what it means by that. But these images aren't going to save you. Look at me, man. I'm righteous, bro. I got the cross. I got my Jesus piece of my forearm, bro. And I was like that when I did it. Now I'm like, man, I wish I could get this thing. I even bought one of those things to remove tattoos. I said, sit. I was like, ah! It hurt 10 times worse than a tattoo. And then it leaves a scar. So you still have the tattoo, but now it's just a scar. So you can't get rid of this stuff. You can't get rid of it. Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awaken to the dumb stone. Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath in the midst of it. There's a story. These graven images are never going to save you. But there's a story that's in I think the book of Jasher, and it has to do with Abraham. With Abraham, and I think his father is Terah. So Terah had he was doing Egyptian worship. He had a different god for each month. So he had 12 gods, and when Abraham saw the 12 gods, he wondered upon the gods. This is how it's kind of written, like he wondered upon it. So he made this great meal and sat all these graven images around the table for the great meal. And he waited to see who was going to eat this great meal that he delivered to them, all the graven images. And, nothing really happened. Later on that day, when Terah came into the courtyard, the biggest, all of the graven images were broken except for one. And so Terah came in, he was pissed. He's like, Abraham, what happened to all my statues? And Abraham said, well, I made him a great meal, and I set them all around the table. And the little ones started to eat before the big one. So the big one killed him. And he looked at him, and he said, that's a fucking lie, man. They're fucking statues. They don't move. And then Abraham said, well, why do you worship them then? I love that story. Why do you worship them? If they're not real, why are you worshiping them? It's a pretty good story. I mean, there are some good shit in the book of Joshua. You got to be well studied. You can't just be some Christian running around screaming Jesus. That's not getting you anything. Being well studied, I can bring out a story outside of the Bible and it still makes sense because it's completely legitimate. Why are you guys worshiping graven image when you know that they're not alive? That's beautiful, huh? He had Terah's thumb. Now, I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story because it gets pretty bad out there. Terah was pissed. He went to the king. But let's move around some more. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. And I just read that. That's right. Yep. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:64. Why not? Going right to the source.
Deuteronomy 28:64. And it reads, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So we're worshiping gods. Either it's going to be Christianity or Islam. You're either going to be a Muslim or you're going to be a Christian in this society. And the Stockholm Syndrome on our people is so strong, they don't realize that it's literally telling you right here, and the Lord shall scatter you among all people. So now we're being mingled. Now we look like the other nations. So these are dead giveaways to not only who the Israelites are today, but what time frame we're in. Because now we're getting to those last and final moments of this time frame, and it's very clear. It says you're going to be scattered among all people. Okay, that's happened from one end of the earth to the other. We can prove that through the transatlantic slave trade. Indeed, and there thou shalt serve other gods. So who does that? We do. We're literally half of Israel is Muslims and the other half is Christians. You have very few Israelites claiming to be like Buddhists and Hindu. It's either Muslim or Christian. That's why it's written in this book this way, because Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai knew how it was going to go down. You Muslims aren't off the hook. We just don't mess with you because we know you ain't going to change. I know you guys aren't going to change. You guys really think you got it made with your fucking bow ties and bean pies and all that weirdness. So, this is beautiful. And there thou shalt serve other gods. Jesus! There shalt serve other gods which neither thy fathers have known. Neither thou nor thy fathers. So the Most High don't even know these guys. You guys made this shit up. He don't even know. Like, where'd this God come from? Where'd that God come from? These guys are just worshiping anything.
You guys made this shit up.
And what do you make up? Indeed, wood and stone. So the God of wood is the Christian God of the cross, and the God of stone is the Muslim God of that giant rock in Mecca that everybody goes kissing and licking. I'd be surprised you didn't get hurt with it. I bet you that rock has a sexual disease. All them mouths on it, you probably got like, what is that called? The kissing disease, what is that called? Mono. I bet that rock has mono. Got the kissing disease on it. Let's jump around some more. Like I said, what is it? You said a big word. You got measles all around your mouth. Let's jump around some more. Like I said, we were just bringing out notes today, just bringing out some notes. So Acts chapter 7, starting at verse 48.
Acts chapter 7, verse 48. And it reads, How the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Keep going. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, says Yahweh? Or what is the place of my rest?
And I wanted to bring this out. It's important because people love making fun of us for coming out here to this spot to teach the Bible. But it literally just told you, I don't dwell in these buildings, these great cathedrals, these great mosques, these great synagogues. I'm not dwelling in those buildings built with man's hands. The building that he is building is us. We're the building. We're the temple. And I've told you this a million times. Each one of us is a brick. The mortar that holds these bricks together is this 100% truth. You can turn your head away, you can look up at the sky, but this 100% truth and all of these prophecies are being fulfilled. Do you know that it says in the Bible that you will have to receive a subdermal implant in the future so you can have what we call to this day financial freedom? So you're not going to be able to buy, sell, or trade unless you have this subdermal implant. What are they talking about on the news? We need digital currency. The prophecies are being fulfilled. You may not listen now, but you're going to wish we were here when we're gone. You're going to wish you never turned your face and put your nose in the air, tried to, let's talk about something different. Oh, those guys don't know anything. Well, we know everything. And that's why you're mad. You're emotional because we're telling you how to get out of this problem, but you want to be the problem. Let me just shut up right there. Let's go to the book of Acts, like I said, chapter 7, starting at verse I already read it. Verse 49. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What will ye build me? How can you build something with your hands and call it something of Yahweh? I just showed you. Anything you build and start worshiping as Yahweh is a graven image. You can't build him anything. You can worship correctly, sincerely, and righteously. And that is a spiritual building. There's nothing else. There is no fucking brick building that's going to save you. That's all I got. Let's move around some more. Let's go to the book of Joel. And chapter 12. Yeah, chapter 2, I think. 2 and 26.
Joel chapter 2, verse 27 reads, And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord Yahweh, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed.
And there's a reason why we're never going to be ashamed. See, you guys are trying to shame us right now, gaslight us, belittle us, smirk, snicker, scoff, semantics, talk to shit. But we're not ashamed. And the more that is done to us, the more powerful I feel, honestly. I feel the more strength of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai coming to me. Because I see the strength of the devil coming to the enemy. So that means that he has to increase me as you guys think that you're being increased, but you're not. You're being decreased. And the demons on you are getting emotional. They're emotionally attached to you. That's why they get so angry when they hear this truth. And you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel. And I am the Lord Yahweh. And none else. I am your God. And none else. I am your Father. Now, I'm not, wait a second, I thought all nations were saved. But it tells you very clearly I am your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. So this 1/3, we're stomping right now. We're stomping on these blocks. You guys think that we're ashamed of it? We're happy. When you guys think that you're scoffing us, it makes us more excited. Oh, he's that guy. You know he's going to receive a curse for that, right? You're going to receive a curse. You're going to receive a curse for celebrating Thanksgiving, Easter, all the holidays, all your stupid high holy days, all of them. And just finished Easter too. So get prepared for the curse. Every time that's what I've learned over the years. Every time there's a high holy day, I always want to see what the curse is that comes after it. So I'm always looking at all my worldly people too at work, wondering what happened to it. What happened to it? You know, it's just human nature. It's just a freak of nature when things happen. It's just the nature of the beast. I got a couple more scriptures that we're going to call it. Let's go back over to the book of Sirach, chapter 22. Sirach, like I said, it's also called Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha if you're following along. Sirach, chapter 22, and I think the point's at 13.
Ecclesiastes.
I said 13, right? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Verse 13. Talk too much with a fool. Talk not much, talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that has no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness.
That's beautiful. Talk not much with the Christian or Muslim. Why? Because they have no understanding. So we proved that today. He even said this guy's not going to have the Spirit on him. He's going to go this, that, and the third. He's going to go all directions except for the right direction. And he was right. So at the end, I was like, you know what? I'm just mocking him at this point. I'm mocking because he's clamorous. He's in his calamity. I got to make fun of him. I mean, you're screaming Jesus. I only spoke to you because I knew you were going to do that. But at the same time, I was honestly hoping that you would sincerely just shut up and listen to me. They can't do it. So it tells you, talk not much with the fool. Why? Because they have no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble. Why? Because he's just going to escalate. I can yell louder than you, so my point's more important. That's not the truth. That's disorderly conduct. If you want to get down to it, that's a disorderly, not like when you're going like with not speaking on like a police and government situation. I'm saying biblically, you're disorderly in your conduct. You refuse to listen. You don't have the Spirit in you. So if you beware of him lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his foolery. So if you beware and kind of try to stay away from these guys, be quick to remove yourself. Find something. Oh, look at the tide. You know what? Got to go. And so, and they're always going to prove themselves. It was an experiment I did today because we didn't have the camera on. I don't want to turn the camera on for anything like that. But it was proven that these guys won't change. He was running a little late, so we didn't want to. But you know, I wish you were here for it. Honestly,
I was here.
And they just Satan flee when no man pursueth, but the bold stand righteous as a lion, or the righteous stand bold as a lion. Slocky. So you got to understand, those guys fled. We started bringing out the Bible. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest. Never be disquieted with madness. So if you stay away from these fools, don't really try to interact with them too much. It'll be a lot easier for you. You'll find rest. In other words, it's not going to be like you're always in some kind of situation. And that's what it comes down to. When you're dealing with Christians, you're always going to be in some weird situation. There's always a problem with these guys.
Oh, it's because feel or recognize through the Spirit when you have a cut, you put peroxide on it, kind of bubbles up, stings a little bit. You know it's going to help, but it makes you feel uncomfortable. The ones that can't take it normally wipe it off. They start crying, they start moving, they doing all types of other stuff. They can't take it. They know it's going to help. They just can't take it. Yeah, and it's the same thing. They know when he read it. He actually had a moment of, and then he realized, wait a minute, I'm agreeing with. Oh, I can't do that.
I can't read this.
And he had to refer back to what he knows. Yeah.
Down here.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Reverend Knight teaches. Joel Osteen.
He couldn't read the verse. He couldn't read it in its entirety because it was going directly against what he was trying to teach. Oh, I read your verse. Now read mine. I was like, what, you're going to contradict the Bible with the Bible? That's impossible unless you don't understand the Bible. Let's jump over to Amos chapter 3. And this is beautiful because this is beautiful. I'm going to read it. Hear this word that Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known. Wait a second, I thought everybody was saying. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity. So when you turn on the news, you're always seeing black people getting killed in the street. Black dude this, black dude that, black, black, everything. And that's not only because it's true, but they're also trying to paint a picture of us being the worst people on earth, which kind of lines up with what the scriptures are saying. I chose you. All these other people hate you. They want you dead. All you black, all you Hispanic, all you Native Americans are the real Israelites. All you South Americans, real Israelites. And all of you people that have been scattered to the other nations that look like the other nations, but your bloodline is still Israel. You are also Israelite. Just because you look in the mirror and you see fucking Jackie Chan, but your bloodline says something else. So, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. So he can see all his people just because we're scattered and mingled amongst everybody else. But here's the point. For all you Christians and Muslims, this is the point. Verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? We can't walk with you guys. We can't even talk to you guys. We can't even explain anything to you guys because you never listen. You're only trying to figure out a way to debunk what we're saying. That's not listening. That's like trying to find a. That's like when you're fighting and you're looking for a counter shot. You're always trying to counter with something. You can't debunk the Bible when it's being truthfully and sincerely presented to you. You're not going to be able to debunk that. And when you can't, what do? Get beneath me, Satan. You guys are Satan. Get the Satan. I love you, brothers, but you're Satan. I don't love Satan.
Your father is the devil.
Yeah,
Your father is the devil.
my father's the devil. Well, my father is a ruler over the devil. I got two more verses and we're going to shut it down. Maybe two. Isaiah chapter 34. And I think the point's in 16. Yeah. Yes. Isaiah 34:16. And this goes to, this is beautiful. Before he reads this, like I was saying, that guy had an NLT. So we started telling him, get Matthew 18 and 11 out of the Bible. Since you have this great, big, fat, jumbo-sized Bible, pull out Matthew 18 and 11. He knew right away he couldn't do it. So I'm not doing anything else. That's when they decided to leave. So their book has been compromised. So when you're reading these books, just because you think you're reading the Bible, you might want to check into it a little. Go back to the King James Version. There's a reason why we're telling you to read this book. The King James Version literally, almost word for word, goes back to the Hebrew. Word for word. Nobody had to change anything. Nobody had to remove anything. Nobody had to add anything. It's right here, word for word. I think there's a few things like that all Bibles have been compromised with. So if you want one better than that, go to the Wycliffe Bible that predates the Geneva Bible by 300 years. There are, but the Bibles they want to read literally have verses removed from them. And those verses are the verses that prove that Yahushua only came for Israel. So and that goes right into your gaslighting, your semantics, everything. So get that up. Isaiah 34 and 16.
Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate, for my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit it has gathered them.
So it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord. So if it's been compromised and it's been changed, how is it the book of the Lord anymore? Do you understand that? Or is that too much for you to handle? And read. None of these shall fail. What is he talking about? The prophecies. None of these prophecies that are written in the Bible are going to fail. None shall want her name. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. And he shall cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it into them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. I wonder who it's talking about. Because once again, Christians are going to come in and say, see, everybody's saved. They didn't even say that. This is literally talking about Israel only. But if you're from these other religions, you literally have to put Israel in front of everything, or it's not Israel, or just be vaguely for everybody. But that's not the truth. Now that we've read it to you out of the book, none of these prophecies are going to fail. And yes, all of you, other nations, Edomites, heathen Israelites, you're all going to wake up and you're going to know in the end that we were only telling the truth sincerely. That's it. We just wanted you to know the truth. We never asked for a penny. We've never even asked for a drink of water out there. We've never asked for anything other than sincerely just listen to what we're saying to you. This could help you. This could save you. Save your whole family. Well, what are they like? Like, fuck that. I don't give a shit. Man, you're a liar, you dumb nigger. You got bums walking up on us thinking that they are a higher scholar level. Probably never even seen a Bible, but they heard some stuff. They know we're wrong. They know we're wrong.
That's shit, yo.
I know. I don't know much about the Bible, but I know you're wrong.
I ain't living right. I'm fucked up. You're wrong. Like, look, audacity, man. That's crazy. It really is, man.
You know what? Let me get this, because this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This goes to every Christian, every Muslim, every Hindu, every Buddhist, every other religion, every camp that's not affiliated with GMS. It's to all of you. It's to all of you. This is Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. You know what? I'm going to start at 18. Behold, I and the children whom Yahweh hath given, and the children the Lord hath given me, are for signs and for wonders in Israel, from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. That's only Israel. And when they shall have said unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, unto the wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God? For the living to the dead. I'm sorry, yeah, for the living to the dead. Verse 20. To the law and the testimony. And if they speak not according to this word, it's because there is no light in them. So the reason why these guys are running up and down the street, Jesus, and all that stuff, and they don't really open the Bible, because the light isn't really in them. And so when they hear the truth come out, wow, now they're going to tell us that we're the demons, we're Satan, we need to get under their feet. That they can.
It's like when you're in the dark, in a dark room, when it turns on the light on you, you've been in the dark for long. Turn that light back off!
Yeah, exactly. They don't want that light shining on them. Because it's a Stockholm syndrome. They think that they're in the light right now. They think every man is going to be saved. It doesn't say that anywhere in the Bible. It says only Israel's going to be saved. And everybody's pissed off about it. Not me. I'm an Israelite. Why should I be pissed? We've been ground to powder so many times over. Now we're sent back, and we're back in the truth. And guess what? Great fear is falling upon them that see us. I see people walking down the street, be snapping their neck back so quick. You know, they don't want to see this. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to get past it. But guess what? It's haunting you now. It's coming for you. This truth is coming for you. When these prophecies are being fulfilled, that's that truth coming to get you, unless you're part of the fold. Then it's coming to bring on the fruits of your labor. You're going to eat those fruits of your labor as a righteous person, but you've brought evil upon yourself as a wicked person. So the law and the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. So, with that being said, I think we've made the point here today. We had a bunch of notes. You Christians, like I told you yesterday and the day before, you're not getting in the kingdom. You're just not. You don't understand what the Bible is teaching. Because if you did, it'd be like a night and day difference for you. Oh, now I get it. So the people can be a different color. They don't have to be black. They don't have to be white. No, they have to have an ancient ancestor that belongs to Jacob. You have to belong to Jacob by bloodline. You can't belong to Abraham, Isaac, and Esau and then call yourself an Israelite. Abraham and Ishmael. You see, you can't do that. But everybody's saved somehow. But it's telling you nobody's saved except for the Israelites that are pulled back into the fold. And with that being said, if you guys got any precepts, with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, Revelation chapter 22 and 12. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. All of you, and us. All of you, and us. We're not perfect out here, but we're doing something different than you guys. We're steadily and diligently working towards our salvation. You guys are out there saying, God knows your spirit. So that's your works, and that's what you're going to be paid for, and this is our works. Don't think you're like us, because you're not. And with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, I hope you got something out of this message. Facing the east, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Ruach. And double honors again to the elder apostles and prophets and the teachers over at GMS. Shalom.
Shalom. The ball.